Okay guys, I don't know where I'm going, but let's go find the Sonus Faber Suprema $750,000 loudspeaker that I'm curious to hear. You are seeing them here, finally. These Sonus Faber $750,000 loudspeakers. Perhaps my dream system. We shall see. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you for being with me here today. I bring to you what I call the dream system. If you have been following me on YouTube by now, you should know that I own the Sonus Faber SE17, which happens to be the predecessor of what we see here, what I call the all-out assault, the Sonus Faber Suprema.
Yes.
And I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me today about this masterpiece of a loudspeaker.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
We had to leave the Munich high-end show to come to a different location because, unfortunately, at the show they didn't have the right room.
Yes.
For this incredible system. So tell us a little bit about this incredible system. I mean, I saw a lot about this earlier this year when it comes to all the technology. Maybe you can give my viewers a little more information about the system and the speakers.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me with this interview on your channel. I'm the Chief Design Officer for Sonus Faber, so I'm in charge of design and also in charge of product development for the company. This is a very special project. We started this project 3.5 years ago. And we started this project because we had a huge investment in the company. We hired a new engineer, we created a new R&D department, and all these engineers, they needed something to express their know-how and their ideas. So we created this project that at the beginning was just an experiment, let me say, without any budget. We said, just feel free to create the best technology, the best driver, the best speaker you can do. And so they started from drivers. And the main point about all these drivers that we are using here is that they are all designed in-house by us, and they are designed following some principles that are coming from, let me say, the professional audio world.
Okay.
Because the main designer, Mario, is coming from Vital Pro, which is a very recognized Italian brand for professional audio transducers. So the rules of this kind of design are pretty different from the hi-fi one. So we had this challenge to combine the elegance and the ability to create amazing details of the classic hi-fi drivers with the power handling and the SPL and the dynamic of a professional
Definitely.
driver.
I heard that in here firsthand. Let me tell you, the dynamics, where it's just surreal. You have to be here to understand how the music just swells up, never feels aggressive, and never feels in your face. It's just a testament to the effortlessness and the lack of compression that the system displays.
You said it. Lack of compression was the main driver behind the project, because we said we are going to offer a product that is no compromises. So what no compromises means? means that you have to have the best in soundstage and tone and tonality, but also you must be able to play very loud without no compression. And this system really can do that. We played in this room. This room is 400 square meters, so huge space. We played full-scale orchestra, and the system can handle that because we designed the drivers that way, to handle a lot of power and to never feel stressed about the energy that the power amplifier are demanding. Keep in mind we are driving the subwoofer with 2000 watt.
2000, that's just for the subs, correct?
Just for the sub,
for
and
the sub.
1000.2 just for the main column.
For the main, yes.
And when you are able to keep all that power with a 92 dB speaker, you can create a lot of SPL, and you need to have that SPL clean and without distortion.
You were telling me that one of the advantages that this system has is obviously the fact that the subs are removed from the main enclosure.
Yes.
So that allows you to have more flexibility, because we know, and I know firsthand, it is a difficult and is a compromise to pretend that you can place the main speakers in a position where you're getting the perfect bass, mid-range, imaging, soundstage. It's never the case.
It's never the case. In fact, we start from that knowledge that the engineers put on the table. There is no way in a normal squared room that the position for the bass will be the perfect position also for the reproduction of the perfect image and stereophonic illusion, let me say. To play the bass without any hole, without any compression, and without any exaltation, equalization made by the room, you have to be free to position the subs where the room is responding the better. So we started from the beginning with this idea of 4 columns system where the subs were completely disconnected from the main speaker. This is giving us also some advantage because we are reducing the energy contribution of the subwoofer that goes normally in the mid-range and tweeter section. So we are having a more clear mid-high section on the main column because they are not disturbed by this huge movement of the woofer. Plus, all the woofer of the main column, especially these 4, were designed to don't reproduce very low frequencies.
Okay.
And the result of that is that they can play very fast. Instead of trying to do the big movement of the bass, they can play fast and undistorted, and also they can go higher enough to match with what we call the link driver, which will match then with everything.
I see a new tweeter. You guys left the Beryllium tweeter on the SE17 back to a soft dome.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, the soft dome is really the DNA of the company. We believe that natural materials deliver natural sound. We tried many different materials. Any material, even the silk, has its own coloration.
Right.
And it's depend by the material of the membrane. There is no way to escape from that. So material like beryllium, aluminum, they are pretty hard. You can have a lot of information, micro information, but sometimes they can sound a little bit harsh, a little bit hard, and not natural in our opinion. So we wanted to stay with silk, but the problem at the point was to create a silk dome tweeter able to go from 2 kilohertz up to 40 kilohertz, and to reproduce those frequencies at the same SPL of the rest of the system. So soft dome are soft, so you cannot expect to have huge SPL out of them. So we decided to split the tweeter in 2. We have a big 38 millimeter mid tweeter, which is covering something between 2 kilohertz and I think 5 kilohertz, which is the region where you have more energy. And then we have a super tweeter, which is making all these fine little ambient details that you need to recreate a credible sound stage.
It's interesting that you said you find Softum to be a little more organic or natural sounding. I do agree with your statement about beryllium tweeter being sometimes it creates this sonic enhancement of the edges, leading edges, which leads to an exaggerated transient. I agree with that when it comes to beryllium tweeter, but I understand, of course, with this brand new design and your flagship product, what you're trying to do. Let's walk around the back so you can tell us what's going on behind the speaker. So this is something that I just noticed. I had not noticed that you had still the rear-mounted drivers, which I love, by the way. I really do. I love when I have this sense of airiness behind the structure, right, behind the speaker. It's really, really airy behind here. There's a lot going on here.
Yes, of course. So first of all, we have a structure which is half wood and half carbon fiber, and there is a reason for that. We wanted to keep the classic resonance of the wood, which make the Sonus Faber special. We are pretty confident in what we are doing with the wood because it's a long history, and we know that this resonance that the wood is producing is very pleasant for the ear, and it's a sort of signature for the Sonus Faber speaker. But again, we had this idea of creating a high power system, so we need something to brace and to damp the wood in the right way. So we decided to go with carbon fiber, which not just an aesthetic cover, it's real.
Oh, it's real carbon fiber.
It's real carbon fiber.
Okay.
In this case, we have a forged carbon fiber.
Oh, wow.
Which is a special something that you can have on special request. Plus, we have some controls on the back.
What are those for? Yeah.
With the first one, you can control the tilt of the front mid-eye section.
Oh, wow.
So you can adjust the position, the relative position of the two tweeter and the mid-range to the listening position.
That's great. That's really cool. I've never seen that.
Absolutely, because the way we design crossover now, we call it phase coherent design, means that we are respecting each individual phase, acoustic phase of the driver. So, and to respect that, your ear must stay at a certain height and depending, of course, on the dimension of the room. So you need to have this ability to tune the system to have the perfect alignment in phase. Plus, we have a regulation for the mid-range level. You can tune it.
Awesome.
The tweeter level, you can also tune it. And plus, we have a regulation for the backfiring system, like you have on the SL and C17. So we have, in this case, it's off because this room is so big that we don't need to have. The back reflection are too far from this unit, so the difference is really small. But in some smaller rooms, you would love to have the additional space that the rear firing speaker creates. So you have, I think, 4 or 5 positions, and so you can tune the back emission as you prefer.
Are the subs tunable too on the back? Is there any adjustments?
No, because the subs are passive.
Right. Okay.
And the way and the reason why we did passive is because you can obtain big pressure on the 20 Hz, for example, in a very small box. But then you had to work with DSP to tell to the woofer to do something that normally you wanted to do. In this case, the subwoofer is a real full-range subwoofer. You have enough volume to go down to, I think it's normally without the crossover activated, it's around 25. Then we have a little boost in the crossover, in the electronic crossover, to go down to 16 Hz flat. The reason why we did a passive is because we believe that the customer has to be free to choose which kind of amplifier he prefers, and someone doesn't believe that the tonality of the subwoofer is important. We believe so. So we believe that having the same tonality in the amplifier who is driving the main columns, and the amplifier is driving the subwoofer is really important to create the right coherence, sense of speed and alignment between the two columns.
That's
so we
interesting.
recommend to use the same brand for subwoofer and main column. Then customers are free to choose which brand they have.
Show us a little bit about the crossover. Let's talk about a little bit about that, because I saw a video about it,
Yep.
but maybe we can see what advantages we got here.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
As I said, the crossover must stay between the preamplifier and the amplifiers of the subwoofer. And since we are talking about no compromise hi-fi system, we believe that the customer are going to use very expensive preamplifier amplifier, maybe a tube amplifier. So we said how we can manage that signal, which is super pure, super analog, and going in a crossover that has to split this signal in two and send only the bass section to the subwoofer. We said we must go fully analog. So basically there is no DSP, everything is made by capacitor and resistors, old school. It's a complete discrete design, dual mono balanced with power supply separated from the main structure. So it's really state-of-the-art crossover design. We have a possibility to play with two slopes. So we have a first slope, left and right channel, and a second slope, left and right channel. So you can do a dual slope, mean that you can go gently for the first slope and then go a little bit more rapid in the second one, or you can combine the two to create a different curve. And this is something we need to adapt the subwoofer to different room environments. Plus you have a phase shift, so you can adjust the phase to align the subwoofer to the main columns.
Oh, wow.
And then you have the volume control. You also have an optional high pass. In the high pass, in this case, we are not using that. The high pass is needed only if you want to drive the system to the extreme pressure. So you want to protect the main column on having a lot of energy on the base. So you can cut the main column up to, 80 Hertz if you want, and protect the woofers of the main column. And in that case, you can reach an amazing amount of SPL. But as you heard in this room, 400 square meter,
yes,
there is no problem, even if the main columns are full range in this
Absolutely. Case. Well, the $1 million question is, how much can this system be purchased for?
The complete system is around 1 million. The speakers is 800 with 800,000 with the 2.2 configuration, so 2 main and 2 subwoofer. But you can also buy the speakers with 1 subwoofer. You cannot buy, unfortunately, a speaker without the subwoofer because the subwoofer was part of the design.
Makes sense.
So I don't remember with 1 subwoofer which is the retail price, but it's I think 70K less than the full option.
Got it.
So pretty expensive, but
well, I said it, cost no object system, the dream system, the $1 million system here at the Munich high-end show. I am completely floored by what I heard. I gotta say, I wish I could bring it home. He's telling me there's only 5 systems right now worldwide, with a couple headed out to the United States over the next few months. So if you can get out and go visit your local dealers in the US, once they arrive, trust me, you'll know. I'm sure you'll be informed. I urge you to get out there and listen to this. This is an experience. Even if you can't afford it, just go and hear this. This is completely next level, something that you will always remember, okay?
Yes.
That's the bottom line. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you for the time.
I really appreciate your time. And of course, guys, you know the deal. Subscribe, hit the like button if you want more quality content like this. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.